Here is the Sony FE 200-600mm lens. Let's check it out. So it comes in this lovely protective cloth bag, which you want to use as much as possible. And let's take it out. So it's a big old piece of work. It's the first thing you're going to notice, it is pretty heavy, and with that in mind, it actually comes with its own strap and mounting point. Obviously, you're not going to put a lens of this length and this weight on your camera housing and take all the weight on that. It's going to damage your camera for absolute sure. So with that, you can, if you're using it handheld, you can use the provided strap, or you can mount it on a tripod using this foot. It comes with a massive lens hood, so if you're shooting in daytime or whatever, slot that on. If you're using it that way, that's all good. Many people get a lens like this for maybe use in sports or wildlife. I actually got it more for sort of big moon rises, that kind of thing, where I can really zoom in on an interesting foreground target, you know, such as a castle or something like that, and get the moon as big in the frame as possible. I've even put it on a star tracker and taken some sort of deep sky photos as well. So yeah, there's all sorts of things you can do with it. Anything you need to get in close. It's got the sort of standard controls you're going to get on any high-end lens. Switch between auto and manual focus. You can make life easier for the autofocus by sort of selecting the range you're working in, either full or some other sort of options there. Optical steady shot, of course. Now bear in mind, obviously, when you're massively zoomed in, camera shake is going to be an issue. So, you know, your optical steady shot is only going to get you so far. Most of the time, you may want to be using a tripod. If you're doing real sort of dynamic wildlife or sport photography, that may not be an option. And then obviously, you've got these modes here that you can program it to do various things via your camera body. It's got this adjustment here, and that allows you, when it's tripod mounted, you can easily sort of rotate it from horizontal to vertical shooting, or indeed anything in between. It's got some other programmable buttons as well. The zoom action, really easy to use. It's an internal zoom, so that's quite handy. It doesn't mean your camera sort of changing size and shifting the weight as you move around. So that's really nice and smooth. For me, the actual manual focus ring is really a bit too light. You know, the slightest, if you even breathe on it, it's likely to move. So that may well be designed for people who are using the lens, again, in high sort of action environments, wildlife or sport, where you're sort of manually focusing and need it to be able to change easily. For my use case, I would rather have it you know, quite a lot stiffer, so it doesn't move by accident, and you've got a lot more control of it. Perhaps it would have even been possible to make some kind of adjustment to sort of switch between modes there for really fast and really sort of sticky sort of focus. But other than that, yeah, it's an amazing lens. It is a solid old piece of glass, but yeah, you can have lots of fun with it. So good luck.